Good afternoon everyone. Here's another clip of my hyosung Hyper Grand Prix Plus. If you go onto YouTube and type in hyosung Hyper, you will see this one on there with a couple of bits and pieces of work done to it. As everyone has noticed, I have changed the exhaust pipe to a micron. Only biggest problem is with this one is the makes are inside on the exhaust because the type of bike it came off. This exhaust is meant to be on this side right here, but as you can clearly see that I have attached it all on, but I gotta cut the exhaust now to lower it down a bit, because if you can clearly see it's catching all the bodywork by here. The reason of doing this video clip, just to let everyone know, whoever has a hyosung, if it's a Hyper or a Grand Prix like this one, now this one here now, only 100 of these models were ever produced. This one here we bought from Little Lambton, and you know, fair play, the bike has never let us down apart from engine wise, which I had to change 3 engines in it, but apart from that it's never let us down. And this one now was imported from Korea, was not brought over here by a company. The guy who had it from new paid to have it imported over here. And the biggest problem is with these bikes, and the biggest problem which I've done, which I should have known better, and I'm just letting everyone know now, is on these, when you dip around corners too low, the engine mountings tend to wear out quicker, so don't go around corners too wide on them. And also as well, I've changed the engine mountings. Now I've taken engine mountings out of, if you type in hyosung Hyper on YouTube, you will see I might have a clip on there of another blue Grand Prix Plus we've got, myself and my girlfriend, which I took the engine mountings out of that one to put in this one. Now the problem was that we assumed, you know, bike nice and clean, no scratches, immaculate condition, that the engine mountings would be fine. But I was wrong, because the engine mountings I took out of this one, the engine was doing that movement. It was rocking side to side. And since I've changed the engine mountings, this one's become a lot worse. And I mean a lot worse. And for everyone out there, a word of advice, please do not stick second-hand parts into these bikes. This one has been slightly modified, of course, as you can clearly see by the exhaust pipe I've put on it. It's a micron silencer of a Suzuki Bandit 1000cc. I've looked up on the internet, and that silencer there is apparently supposed to be road illegal. In other words, you're not supposed to use them on the road. But since I've put it on the bike, I've had no problems whatsoever. I've taken it to motorbike shops, and they've said that there's no problem whatsoever with it. Above the air filter by here, I'm going to point my finger, there's supposed to be a pipe coming off the back of the filter. I'll use my finger to show you a diagram of how the pipe goes. There's a pipe supposed to come off the back, up and along then to the centre of the frame into a hook loop. And then there's a breather pipe bed that goes across by here and allows the airbox to breathe. But what I've done is I've gone ahead, I've taken all the piping off, and I've put a K&N filter there. Now if I go to the side of the bike, I'll see if I can try and show you. There we are, there's the K&N filter. Now if I take the K&N out like so, you will see there's a lot of tape around it, but for the air controlled valve, I've taped it to the filter. So if I don't know if you can clearly see, that's the hole where the air bleeds through, and then I just attach the filter back in like so, and then push him down. Bob's your uncle, job done. Now, as you can clearly see, I have done a bit of a mess. I've painted all this red, which I shouldn't have done, and I painted this silver and this red, which I shouldn't have done, but I am going to correct it by bringing all this back black and this back black. As you can clearly see, the bike is in a bit of a mess. The belly panel by here, I had to change. There was a brand new belly panel by there, which I put on. But unfortunately, due to a year or so ago, I was travelling through Llanelli, and some moron of an old age pensioner decided to come out of a roundabout in Morva, but there, outside Aldi's I think it was, or Lidl's, and instead of stopping at the roundabout, I literally kept beeping my horn, because I got air horns on this, for you to have an example. And when I beep the horns, that's the talking alarm, and when I beep the horns, he still kept coming towards me, which is a bit stupid. Now, if I put the phone by here for a minute, I will start it for you to hear it. Bear with me for a second. As you can clearly hear, it doesn't sound standard at all. This brake light here I've put on the back myself. I run all the wires through. There's a wire which you can clearly see by there, which I run down into this panel by here, to there, right along by here, into there, into the back lights. So that works. And I also, as well, wired up the front lights. The alarm in this is a Cyclone C11 talking alarm system, and the best thing about this alarm system is, if I stand directly in front of the bike, like so, you'll clearly see there's spotlights there. Now, on the activator, you have that, and then you have a start motion and you have a finding motion. Now, what I've done with this, which has worried people a lot, if I push this button by here, you clearly see that.
Welcome to the Cyclone C11 alarm system.
Then if I push the button off, it does that. Now, I have to admit, it has scared a lot of people, because when I park up in Llanelli and I push that button, they think, how the hell does a bike sitting there by itself have lights switch on automatically? So, but, you know, that's all I can just tell people is, or everyone who watches this clip, if you want any information regarding these bikes, the Hyper or the Grand Prix like this one now, the Hyper, which is but there, which is under the cover, which I'm using at the moment because my engine motors have collapsed. But for any information on modifying these, any at all, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Because when we bought this bike off eBay, I didn't touch this bike for 2 years solid. So this bike was on the road with me for 2 years, and believe it or not, it's the best bike I've had so far yet. And after the 2 years, I thought to myself, have a bit of a change, you know, tart it up a bit, boost it up, which I did do. I stuck a number of silencers on it. It had a silencer of a Honda Fireblade 750, The silencer worked quite well for a year and a half until the baffler inside the silencer decided to collapse, and then it was making a hell of a racket. And at that time, when I put the normal exhaust back on, wasn't the same bike, totally different change bike. Went back to its normal self, no power whatsoever. So my girlfriend then found that micro exhaust on eBay. We put a bid on it.